This is a very different style service today. And a lot of times as pastors or leaders, we say things like, it's going to be a little different today. No, it's going to be a lot different today. It already is. So, as previously advertised, at this point, I do think we will eventually have some lights redirected. Not that you want to see me any more clearly. I understand that. That's fine. But I would like to invite all the children to come up and join me on stage. Now, just a second. Because I know the next question is, well, how do we define children? So, Pastor Sean, I know you're going to Passion, but you're probably not quite in the children category. So we're going to say up through 5th grade. All right? Now, sorry if you missed out. And so then how young do we go? Now, parents, this is where you get to make the judgment call. If you want your kids to be up here and they're 2 or 3 years old, send them or come with them. You're welcome to bring them up and sit with them up here on the stage. So, kids, come on. Please don't leave me up here alone because that's going to be really awkward and embarrassing. Oh, good. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Charlie, I'm so glad you're here. Come on, folks. Hey, Von Logan. All right, everybody, have a seat. Now, wait. We're going to do it different. You guys are going to sit up here looking back that way, okay? But wait. So, back up, Milo, back up, everybody, back up. Keep going. There you go. Sit there. Yeah, good. All right, so you guys can go ahead and have a seat. All of you can sit down. Thanks. So you want to be back a little bit more. Good job, folks. Good job. Wow, this has gone much better already than I expected. Good. Welcome. The first thing that I want to say to you guys who are up here right now is this. I hope you know this already, but maybe you don't. Hi, Quinley. This is your church. Okay? Now, I know a lot of times you might think about it from the perspective that it's my mom and dad's church, or it's my grandparents' church, or it's a church, it belongs to old people, and I just get dragged along every week. But you are a precious part of this church. And remember that a church isn't a building. I know we talk about it that way. We're going to church, meaning this building. Church isn't the building. The church is the people that belong to Jesus. And this church is part of you, and you are part of this church. So this morning I want to tell you a story that you've all heard before in some way or other. And I'm going to need a little bit of help. And so I'm going to start off, and this can always be a little bit intimidating. I'm going to ask for 2 volunteers. So, all right, Lydia, come on. Let's see. Milo, can you handle this? All right, come on. Maybe I should ask your parents if they think you can handle this. All right, so I'm going to need you both to stand up. Milo, you're going to be right over here. Lydia, you're going to be right over here. And we're going to talk about the way things were at the very beginning of time. So Milo, you hold that end of the rope. Lydia, you hold that end. You guys spread out a little bit more so it gets, yeah, there we go. All right, now, you, Milo, are going to represent the God side of this rope, okay? Lydia, you are going to represent the people side of this rope. Okay, here, move forward just a little bit. There we go, okay. At the very beginning of time, God made everything that exists, right? Tell me, what are some things that he made? Animals of various kinds. Gwendolyn? People. He made people, yes. Trees. Something else? Land. Stars. Everything. Yes, last one. Everything. Nice. So God made everything, and specifically I want to get to the point where he made people, right? He made us. And the way God made us first is he made us to be with him. So a way we talk about that is we say that God made us to have a relationship with him, to be friends with him, to know him, and for him to know us. This rope represents that relationship between God and people. And let me tell you something, that relationship is the best thing. It is the best thing because that's what we were made for, right? So initially, because of this relationship, God and people could talk. They could wave at each other. They got along. Like there was nothing that separated them. There was nothing that came between them. It was perfect. And that's how God made all of us to be, with him, with nothing in between us. Now, what were the name of the first man and the first woman? Who can tell me? Someone who hasn't answered yet. Mary? No, that was the mother of Jesus. So you're on the right track. Mary and Joseph. Okay, I know we're at Christmas time, so these are the names. These are the names that are in our brains right now. But I'm looking for the very first man and the very first woman. Yes, sir. Adam and Eve. We got there. Yes. Well done. Adam and Eve. So Adam and Eve, very first man and very first woman. And they lived in a place that God made just for them, and it was a perfect place. Anybody know what that place was called? We're going to go. It wasn't Bethlehem. Let me just say that right off the top. You've already answered one. Leland. The Garden of? I know. Not the Garden of I know. It wasn't the Garden of I know. The Garden of, Charlie? Adam? No, Eden. It was the Garden of Eden. So it was close. It was really close. Right number of letters. So the Garden of Eden, I'm sorry, parents out there, some of you are like, this is far worse today than you would expected it to be. No one's looking at you. No one's pointing at you. No one's judging you. Well, maybe. I don't know really what's going on. So they lived in a place called Eden, and because God loved them, God gave them a choice. And God said to them, you have a choice. You can continue to be with me, to be in relationship like this with me, and to live perfectly at peace with me, or you can choose not to. And how did God give them that choice? Do you remember? There were two what, Josiah? Two what? 2 fruits? Nope, 2 trees. 2 trees. You are on the right track. 2 trees in the garden, right? The tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And he said, if you want to remain with me, if you want to be with me, if you want to have me as your friend, don't eat the fruit from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. That's your choice. If you want to be with me, don't eat it. If you want to say no to me, then you can eat the fruit. What happened? Just tell me. What happened? They ate it. Let me have this rope for a second. So, when they ate that fruit, what do we call that? Sin. Now, I need another volunteer. All right, Marlo, you got your hand up first. All right, come on up. So, we call that sin. And sin damages, it breaks, it cuts that relationship, that being with God. So here you go. Uh-oh. Look what you did. Now, none of you have ever done anything wrong, right? Ever, ever, ever. Yes, you're right, Milo. You have, yes. So have I. And when you do something wrong and you realize it, and you realize that maybe mom and dad or grandma or grandpa or your teacher, somebody is going to discover it, what do we feel? Anxious? Scared? Afraid? I remember one time when I was older than you were, but I was in high school, and one night my dad had told me, I don't want you to drive my car tonight. You may not drive my car. I did it anyway. and I crashed it.
I knew that was coming.
You knew that was coming? How did you? Okay. So I crashed the car. How do you think I felt? Ashamed, bad, scared. Why was I scared?
Because your dad is really mad at you.
Because my dad was going to be really mad at me? Yes. But let me tell you something. Was I scared because my dad was a bad man? No. Because there was going to be a consequence. I was scared because of what I had done. And when Adam and Eve chose to eat that fruit, they made that choice, they also were terrified. Because right after they did it, they realized that they had broken. They had broken that relationship and that friendship with God. So when we get caught doing something wrong, or here's something better, we broke something and mom and dad don't know yet, what do we try to do?
Fix it.
We try to fix it. Apologize, yes, eventually. But even before they get there, you might try to what? Lie. You might try to hide it, right? I remember breaking something once and I just kind of put all the pieces away behind a cupboard so that I thought mom wouldn't notice.
You just told us something that you just broke.
I did tell you something I just broke. My dad's car, right? Couldn't really hide that one. Like there wasn't really a way, and I couldn't put it back together. Like glue wasn't going to do it. But you know what I did? I did sort of hide. And that's what Adam and Eve did. They went off and they hid. They're like, maybe God won't find us here. All of those things, like hiding, being afraid, trying to fix it, all of those things are ways that people try to deal with the consequence of their sin, right? They try to fix it on their own. So you see what we end up with? Take the end again. Now, everything's fine, right? It's reconnected, right? The rope is back together. Is our relationship perfect again? But pull really hard. Okay, good. See, like it's tight, right? It's tight. So, but if God speaks to people, something blocks it. And if people try to talk to God, something blocks it. Because it's been cut by sin. Now, is that the end of the story?
No.
No. It is absolutely not the end. That would be a really bad story, wouldn't it? Okay, you can go back to your seats now. It's over. No. That was a joke. That's what I was trying to say. That would be a really, really bad end to the story. But it doesn't end there. The Bible says that because God loved people so much, so God had already given people a choice, right? And they already messed it up. But then God gave them another choice. Now, some of you may have memorized the verse John 3:16 at some point in your life, but it says, God so loved the world that he gave his only son, that whoever believes in him would not die but have everlasting life. So God gave people another choice. Did he have to do that? No, he already gave us a choice and we chose really badly, right? All of us have chosen sin at some point. And sin has to be paid for. So God, because he loved us so much, the only way that sin could be paid for had to be paid for with a sacrifice. And so God sent someone to be that sacrifice. Who was that someone? Now, okay, remember, we're looking for a Sunday school answer now, okay? All right, so let me just give you a heads up on that. Yes, Carter. Who did God send? To Jesus. That's exactly right. And Jesus, what did he do? I mean, he did a lot of things, right? But what did Jesus do, Gwendolyn, in order to make us, he died on the cross. So this red cloth, that represents Jesus' death. And his blood that covered over the sin and brokenness that all of us have chosen, that all of us chose to do, to say no to God and say yes to ourselves. But here's the choice. Remember I said that God gave us one more choice.
Yeah.
He doesn't force anybody to be in a relationship with him. God doesn't force any of us to say no to sin. Because he loves us, he gives us the choice. And so he says, will you accept? You can choose, right? You can choose to keep living like this, with a relationship with me and you broken. Or you can choose to accept my son, Jesus, his sacrifice in your place. And that's a choice that each individual gets to make. God doesn't force us, but he gives us the opportunity. And if we say yes to Jesus, if we say, yes, Jesus, I will accept your sacrifice in my place. If we say, yes, Jesus, I recognize that I am a sinner. I recognize that I am broken. I recognize that I have chosen to say no to you and yes to sin, but I'm sorry and I want to be in relationship with you again, then this is what happens. It's not really magic, but you know, I didn't have another one. So, this is the best part. Now, no, I'm not going to show you what's in my pockets. So, however, the point is that Jesus makes everything with God perfect again if we say yes to him. And that's what I want to remind each of you about today. Like maybe you've already done this. I know a lot of you probably already have, but some of you maybe haven't. And I just want to say again that God is always asking you, saying, do you want Jesus to make things right with me again? And if we say yes, he will come into your heart, he will forgive your sin, and he will make you right with God again, back in relationship with him. Milo, Lydia, well done. You guys did a great job. Thank you. All right, the two of you stood there amazingly. You stood there amazingly. Thank you. All you kids, I'm so glad that you are part of First Friends Church. I'm so glad that you were here this morning. And remember that Jesus loves you. He died in your place so that you can be right with God again. Thanks again. Let's give them a hand. Thank you for being up here with me. Now you really can go back to your seat. For real. For real. How did I do that? I don't know. It's a secret. Oh, I had another one? Maybe. Let's stand.